Thank you for watching. It's about time to do a tiny update on this FG Dragster. This car started out as an FG Sportsline 2-wheel drive, came with a Mercedes body. I took the Mercedes body off, I mounted this Dodge Challenger body. Anyway, if you're curious how I built this car, make sure to check out the playlist. Today I'm going to add the final detail to this build. There's one major thing missing, I think, to make it look truly scale and to have it fully functioning as a dragster. And today I will be adding that detail. It's going to be a brake parachute. I hope that I'll be able to pull it off. If not, you're here to witness me fail. I got a lot of random items to build one. It's actually deployable on the 4th channel of my radio. For those that have watched, I put a line locker system in this car, which means that I can lock up the front brakes to do burnout. And I still have one extra servo option available on that line locker system. With that servo option, I want to deploy that brake chute. I hope that will work. One of the main alterations to this chassis has been the installment of this second servo. This second servo acts as a line locker, so it allows me to lock up the front wheels and do a burnout, like you would see on an actual dragster. Currently it only acts on pull, which means that I still have the push left. I operate this one on the 4th channel on my 4PL radio. With me still having the push left, it means that I can convert this moving energy of the servo to the back of the car using one of these rods and some of these collets to connect it to the servo wheel. I will just install that. I will see how much movement it will actually give me in the back of the car and how I can convert that to it opening a box in which a brake parachute will sit. Not everything that you use on an RC build needs to come from a hobby store. This box, for example, this is perfect for what I need. You can tell it has a spring operated lid. This used to be a box for cufflinks. I do not use cufflinks. I do not use this box to keep them safe or whatnot. I have no idea where they are, so this box is safe to get sacrificed. The only thing I do not like about this box is that leathery appearance on the outside, so I need to cover it up to make it look like a bag in which a brake parachute would come. The lid of it is perfect because it's spring operated, so it will stay shut if I need it to stay shut, and if I want it to open, it just pops open like that. One thing that I need to do is I need to attach some sort of lever to it, so I can actually convert that movement of the servo into something that opens up this lid. What I will do to cover up the outside of this box, I will use this bag. This bag used to be for my shaver. You're supposed to transport your shaver in this bag if you go traveling. Well, I do a whole lot of traveling, but I'm a slob, so I just toss my shaver in my suitcase or in a sports bag. So this bag, I have no use for it, but the fabric on it, it's perfect. It's a bit coarse. It's like something that you would see on a true scale dragster. So I will glue this bag to the outside of this box, make it overlap a bit diagonally like this. Maybe even put a pin through it, like you would see on a full-scale dragster. And I will just get started with this, see if I can get this box to have the appearance that I want it to have. So I'm one step further. I have put the fabric that I had from that bag of my shaver, put that around that spring lid operated box. If you cannot find one of these boxes, I suggest going to, for example, a jewelry store. I think that they will have plenty of them laying around, and if you're prepared to spend a few bucks on it, then most likely you will walk out of the store with one. Again, this thing keeps itself closed sort of, and it also pops open if it goes beyond a certain point. And for me that was crucial to make that brake parachute pop out. I drilled 2 holes on the inside over here to attach the box to the body, and I also put a pin through the outside over here. This is actually a cut up body post. So I fixed it with a body clip on the inside, and there's also room for an extra body clip on the outside. And the purpose of that I will show you later on with the chassis. I was looking for a parachute to use for this project, and I ended up at a website called rocketshoots.com. Mind you, if you are in Europe, their shipping is ridiculous. These parachutes only cost, I think, $7 a piece, but the shipping on them was like 45 bucks. Anyway, I got two of them through a friend of mine in the States. I just had it sent to him because in the States it is free shipping, and afterwards he shot it over to me for like, I don't know, like 10 bucks. So if you are in Europe, make sure that you just order them through a friend or an acquaintance who is stateside. It will save you a lot of money with the shipping. You can also get them custom embroidered. Let me take this one out of the bag to show you. This parachute, this is one of my favorite HPI Baja forums, or it is my favorite HPI Baja forum. BajaAddicts.com. If you have HPI Baja, or if you're into large-scale RC cars, check out that forum. It is hands down the best forum on the internet when it comes to large-scale RC stuff, or just a regular yip yap. I made my servo alteration. This is that second servo that I placed in there when I made that line locker system. You can tell that there's an extra rod coming out over here. This is actually a regular brake rod, which I modified just so I have something to move around in the back of the car and trigger that brake parachute. The main advantage of having this double servo setup is like with an actual drag car, you can still be on the throttle and then you can deploy the brake shoes. I have seen a few people trying to make a brake parachute system online, and they all operated from the throttle servo, which means that they need to get off the throttle to deploy the brake shoes. I don't have to do that, so it will be a lot more realistic. The linkage that I got coming from that second servo, that brake linkage that I modified, it goes all the way to the back. At first I wanted to mount it over here in the shock tower, but that was a tiny bit too short. So I ended up making a small aluminium bracket which doubles as a shock tower reinforcement. Put a screw in there with a hole that acts as a kind of like a guiding point for this linkage. I put two collets on there. These are all parts that you can find in the FG online store. It's all regular parts, and between those two collets I put, well, this is fishing gear. This is a type of underline. It's a steel cable with a plastic coating around it, and when you're fishing you use this as an underline for like pike or carp, those types of fish. So this I guided through the rear of the car over here. I actually tied two of them together, and let me show you in the back how it lines around the wheelie bar and eventually ends up at that spring operated box. Over here you can see the gap in the shock tower. I managed to pull that steel cable through here. This also acts a bit like a guide rail. Over here I had two screws sticking out, one on this end, one on the other end. I put this is, I think, a linkage end for my crawler that I had laying around, so I put that on top of the bolt. Completely tied that one down so it's not going anywhere, and that eyelet will also function as a guiding point for that steel cable, for that fishing gear cable. Over here you see the connection to the second cable, because I needed some extra length, and over here it doesn't cause any obstruction with the eyelet or with the shock tower. And then if we move a bit further back, over here you can see the winch block that I used to make a wheelie bar. If you want to check out how I made that wheelie bar, have a look in the playlist. There's a full description of how I did this. I made a video about it. It was really simple, as all of the other items on this dragster. This wheelie bar was also done on a budget. The winch block, which is over here, which looks a bit like a wheelie bar wheel, is also used as a guiding point for that steel cable. And then over here at the end of the cable I have a body clip. This body clip will pop in the lid of the container for the brake parachute, and by pulling the cable it will pull open the lid and the brake parachute will fall out. At least that's the idea. If we pull this a tiny bit back, over here you can see a hook This is a really simple open and close hook. I took this from, I think, a sports bag or something, but I didn't feel like fully attaching a parachute because it is such a hassle to fold it every time you deploy it. So with using this hook, I can simply detach it, refold it, hook it up again, and I'm good to go. So well, in theory, that's how it works. Took that brake linkage, 2 collets, fishing cable, pulled it through the shock tower, through an eyelet over here, through the winch block in the end, put a body clip on the end. Body clip will pop in the lid of that box. I pull the cable, I pull this linkage over here, pull the cable, pull the pin, and the pin will open up the lid of the box. That is the main idea. I didn't want to have anything that was completely fixed to the body all the time, because I will still want to be able to take the shell off if I want to fuel it up or do some maintenance, of course. And I also didn't feel like having this chute permanently attached, so that's why it is attached over here with this hook. So that will give me some liberty to run it either with or without the chute, whatever I feel like. But for now I will pop on the lid, show you guys what it looks like completely finished. We will also see if I can pull the lid on the box using this cable. It's really dark outside, so I won't be doing any test runs. But yeah, who knows, you know, I might be able to improvise something. I hooked up the battery. You can see that that body clip is sitting right here in the other end of that body post that I drilled through the lid of the box. I also put a ring behind there just to give it a bit more of a detailed look. Right now I will see if it actually works. So the parachute is not in there, but I just want to give it a bit of a dry testing before I actually put it in and give it a try. Well, I guess that works. I'll zoom out a bit so you can see it with the radio. This is that 4th channel, so by pulling this switch I put on the front brakes. If I put it in the center, that's like neutral, nothing happening. I can still operate the throttle and the brakes, so I can be on the throttle when I deploy the chute. Once more. That works. Parachute is inside right now. I want to try this as well just to make sure that I know for sure that the parachute doesn't get obstructed in any way. Well, that works. And once more. Boom. One last time. Perfect. Weather absolutely sucks out here. It's raining, all the roads are wet, so I'm not going to take it out right now for a test spin, but just, you know, I do want to see it and I do want to give it a try. So I think closest way to test it for now is using this leaf blower, hooking it up and seeing if I can deploy that chute. Battery's hooked up, radio is turned on. I put a chair on the table with a leaf blower on top of the chair. So you really want to do this type of stuff when nobody's home, because they will try to admit you in a mental institution and they have every right to do that. Anyway, I'm going to turn the leaf blower on and we're going to see if it actually works. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. How to make your own brake parachute on a budget. I think the whole thing, it didn't even cost me 20 bucks to do. It just takes a whole lot of time and a bit of figuring out. But as you can see, it is doable. You can stand on the throttle, you can deploy that chute. And well, as soon as weather permits, I will be taking it outside and giving it a proper test run. Unfortunately today the conditions were not there. So stay tuned. I hope you will subscribe so you will actually be able to see me run this car again. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. and stay safe.